Well, really proud of our football team and the approach they took last week in preparation, and then how the outcome came on Saturday against Central Arkansas. They were undefeated in the conference, sitting on top of number one, and for us to go out and perform the way we did, I think was a testament to our coaches and our players, and the work that they've been putting in to get better and better each week, and to put people in position to make plays. And so really, really pleased with how all that turned out. Hope everybody goes out and does their civic duty today and vote. I voted this morning over at the Mule Barn. So it was good to see some people over there out and getting their civic duty done. So, but anyway, we got a great Jacksonville State team, really solid team on the road this week. Coach Rich Rodriguez has done a great job down there of flipping that thing from last year to this year. And I know they're in the transition to Division I, so it'll be a challenge for us. This will be our fourth Division I game of the year, or FBS game of the year, I should say, FBS transition. And so we've got to continue to work hard and have a great week of prep. And we're excited about the opportunity to go down there. I know they'll be ready to go. Pretty sure it's senior day for them. Last game at their home stadium. And that's something that I'm sure they'll concentrate on. So with that, I'll open it up for questions and we'll go from there.
Coach talked about, going out and voting today and those polls being open. Well, the polls are open for you guys as well, and they're open for you all to make a run at this thing. You got two big games in front of you. Obviously don't want to look too far ahead. But how important is it for this team to be playing the way they are right now with it in front of them to, at least get a share of a conference championship?
I think it's important. You want to play your best ball when you're getting towards the end of the season, to be honest with you. We've got guys that are out, that are hurt. We're playing with limited numbers of some on certain, defense especially. And really proud of how they're stepping up and playing and playing physical and playing smart. And I think we simplified some things for them, and I think all that is important. I think we got to keep the main thing, and that's winning each week. Polls are great. We can sit there and I don't even know I know we're ranked like in 124 and 125, but whatever. That don't. That's great. Don't get me wrong. That's something to talk about, but I'm a believer in just win each week. And, I got a lot of question marks on those polls anyway. So I'm going to keep Rickson's job safe for him and not say what I really want to say. But I want to say to our team, hey, keep playing hard, keep practicing hard, keep preparing, keep believing. Keep doing the things you got to do to win football games, because that's all that really matters.
Yeah, and you got to think, a win like that in the way that you all won, I think would help that resume as well as you go throughout the year. The win was insane Saturday. Have you ever been a part of a game like that with the win, playing? There was a lot of times even on punts and field goals, and sometimes, in passes where the wind just took over the ball. Have you ever been a part of anything like that?
Yeah, actually here in Roy Kidd Stadium, back when Coach Kidd was coaching, and that's where I learned, some of the lessons that we use Saturday in strategy, and so it's funny, after 20 some odd years, you start reaching back into the old memory bank, and a lot of things change about football: offense, defense, how you tackle, how you all these little things that everybody wants to tweak, but the weather you can't tweak. And how it affects the game, and to have the advantage of watching Coach deal with that for 6 years was really special for me. And there's other things, snow, different things that you're involved in, rain, that really helps. Rain on a grass field as opposed to a turf field. Just little things that keep coming up that you can remember. We're successful and we're not successful. And so you have to pull from that. But yeah, I've been a part of that, but it was crazy. When you're punting or kicking off and the ball's hanging up there so high and then coming backwards and all that stuff, it was a crazy day.
The crowd has been so good for you guys at home games, and it was no different this past Saturday, even with the weather being the way it is. So one final home game. I'm gonna give you a chance here. For those folks, if you haven't been to a game this year, what would you tell them about getting out and watching you guys when you come back home in a couple of weeks?
Well, hopefully we're coming home with a good win. And, I think our seniors deserve it. It'll be senior day. If that's the case, then we're playing for a conference championship. If not, we're probably playing for a share of a conference championship. And so we have to make sure that, our fans come out and make a difference in the game. These guys deserve that. Our seniors deserve that. Our 6-year seniors, guys that came back that could be out working, could be out doing things other than playing football and representing EKU and representing Madison County and Richmond. It's a great time. It's a great ticket. Our people do a great job with all the other things that you got to worry about than just watching the football games. Tailgating is great. You do a great job with your show. I think it's a hot ticket. I mean, I think people got to keep coming out. I mean, I know we hadn't sold one out yet, and we've got to continue to try to do that. And those are goals that we got to continue to try to meet as a football team that aren't football related, so to speak. But people need to be proud of Madison County and Richmond. We're happy to be here. We're proud of EKU, and we're definitely very proud of our players.
Last one for me. You guys have been able to win in different plays, a shootout, maybe a defensive game. Obviously, this past week, it was a little bit of both with your offense putting up big numbers and the defense playing the way they did. Do you think that will help you if you're not able to win the A-Sun, still be able to get a berth because you've shown the committee that you all can compete and win games in different ways?
Well, I think yes. I mean, I think when you look at our schedule and look at every game we've been in, wins have been close, or we've had some teams that we put behind, put away, and then our losses have been close. I mean, we lose to Sam Houston on the last, second walk-off kick. We lose to Eastern Michigan, we're by 8 points, I think it was. And then we lose to Austin P in the second half, just, things that we should have controlled, but we didn't. And so I think we've got a good football team. I'm proud of our football team. We've still got 2 games left, and I think everybody needs to understand that. Everybody gets to November and the round ball comes out in this state, and everybody wants to start looking at that. And the football is what's important, and nothing against the other stuff, but for us, football is important. I'm glad our basketball team won big last night, and I'm looking forward to a great game Thursday night. But we still have 2 games left. We still have to play and present our resume to the committee. I get it. We win the next 2, we should get the AQ qualifier. We should automatically be in. Well, then we should be considered for a first round bye in the top 8. If we don't, then we gotta fight and claw to get in there and do what we got to do. But I don't think if you put EKU in the playoffs today, if they started today, that we wouldn't be competitive.
We talked a couple of weeks ago. You guys have everything in front of you, and until now, you've taken full advantage. What kind of extra juice has this given your guys, knowing you're playing well, you're doing what you got to do? And I mean, I guess just the confidence is just kind of grown with this team, isn't it?
Well, I think, as you see, we're on a little 3-game, I guess it's a 3-game streak here. They're getting comfortable. Our defense is growing up in front of our eyes, and that's what we were concerned with going into the season. I think if you go back and look, I was worried about our secondary and the inexperience in that, and even our linebacker play and some of the inexperience there. And those guys have gotten better and better each week, which continues to help our offense out. Parker has gotten better every week, even though he's playing in my opinion, he's the best player in FCS. He should be the Walter Payton Award winner. He should be all that stuff. But I don't have a vote. And so he's making everybody else around him better. And I think when you talk to our defensive players, you'll find out that they realize that if they'll get stops, that we can separate. And because, we do have elite play being played at quarterback, and everybody else is playing well around him, which helps Parker. I think Parker will be the first one to tell you that. And And so I'm proud of where we're at, but we still got 2 weeks, and we face a great team this week. I mean, Rich is a well-known coach. Known him for a long time. He does a heck of a job. He's got a heck of a staff, and they've put together a team down there that is playing hard and playing physical, and we're going to have to be ready to go. But I like our team. I really do. I like the men in our locker room. I like their approach. I like how they're starting to come together and love each other.
Parker, obviously, man, it's been such a great year for you, as a team, but also as an individual. Getting all these not only the records you've been able to build up as an EKU Colonel, but being able to top a lot of the A-Sun things. Have you talked to TJ Pryor at all? Have you guys had any conversations? Whenever you passed him a few weeks ago, have you guys talked any with one another?
No, I've never actually spoken to him. Obviously, I knew he held the records before. I've had people tell me that, and obviously he was a great player, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to surpass him on the leaderboards of some things, and it's definitely just a humbling experience for me. But no, like you said, I haven't got to speak to him yet, though.
Well, I used to have some battles with TJ back in the day on the basketball court, playing some intramurals. So we used to have some battles. I'm glad you guys kind of had a different kind of battle, but congratulations on that, Mark. In the second half, I think you had a little bit of an injury there. Talk about that and maybe what your status might be going forward.
Yeah, I had a run, and it's just a minor injury. It was honestly me just being a little more freaked out by the situation than it actually was a bad injury. But I should be good and healthy this week moving forward.
You've been a part of some really big games as a Colonel, and as you go forward, there's a big one this Saturday. What are you guys as a team saying to one another to help prepare maybe some of the younger guys or some of the guys that haven't been a part of those big games just yet to get ready for this game on Saturday?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with us right now is obviously we have the playoffs in our sights. So I think it's really just taking it one game at a time and just letting everyone focus on Jacksonville State this week. And then next week, obviously, Kennesaw State. So just taking it one game at a time and, letting everyone know what's at stake. But at the same point, come out and play loose. Don't play nervous. Don't play tight. And just, play the way we've been playing.
There's been times this year where you've thrown the ball to Higgins or Sloan or Smith or, obviously Dak Allen out. So you've been able to connect with a lot of different players. Do you have a favorite receiver to throw to?
No, I wouldn't say I have a favorite one. Honestly, just each week you look at it, I'm just kind of building the connection with more and more guys out there. I'm getting trusted more and more guys and knowing, where they're supposed to be and where I expect them to be. And I think you look at the stats. I mean, one week someone might have one catch for 10 yards and the next week that same guy might have 10 catches for 150. You never know. Yeah. I think that's kind of the great thing about this team is just the weapons that they've been able to surround the offense with. It's just been great this year.
Last one for me, the wind. I mean, it was insane Saturday. And there was a couple of passes that just kind of went wobbly on you because the wind just took it over. Talk about that and what it was like playing in that, that weather on Saturday, but also being able to pick up that big win.
Yeah, obviously, I feel like the weather, I was telling people before the game, I really feel like it plays to our advantage because I feel like a lot of Saturdays it's super windy here. And, and then you go some places and the wind's not a factor at all. So I think that honestly played a little bit of a role into it as well, kind of with the Central Arkansas team. I think the wind might have, bothered them a little bit more than it did us because, we're kind of used to it. And obviously it was way worse than it normally is. And it's just one of them things, some of the balls I threw, I wasn't 100% confident in because of the wind. And obviously, to get out of there with that win, like you said, is huge for us. That's a great football team. And I feel like that's the most complete game we've played all year as an offense, a defense, and special teams. So, I mean, it's a great win. It's great to build off of going into this week against a good Jacksonville State team.
Michael just asked, do you have a favorite? I know you don't have a favorite, but I guess when you're going through your progressions, which receiver is just kind of open the most? I mean, which one do you just kind of look at throughout the game and you just know he's going to be open the most?
So I feel like Jaden Smith was one at the beginning of the year. Him and Dak were two that, they both played in the slot, played tight end. So a lot of the routes, they had a good feel for the game and me just kind of knowing what they were thinking and where they were supposed to be. And then really coming along right now is Cornelius McCoy. As you see, I mean, he's getting better and better and we're building our trust more and more each week. And there's been times he's kind of tweaked his route or changed his route to be open. And, I'm really comfortable with him there as well. I think all of our receivers do a great job, And then obviously you have Jaden Higgins, who you throw the ball up, that he's going to come down with it. And that's another huge thing with him on the outside.
Yeah, there's some talent out there. That dive and catch was sweet too on Saturday. But like I asked Coach, just kind of you guys doing what you need to do, getting these wins. It's huge, and it seems like your confidence is just kind of growing. Does it give you more juice each week, knowing you're getting the wins, you're in position to do something special? How does that just kind of grow you guys' confidence?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it definitely grows our confidence for sure. Rolling off 3 wins in a row, I think it's huge for us. Like I said, we're going in to play a really good Jacksonville State team. And I think we have a lot of confidence going into that game. I think our defense is playing the best ball they've played all year right now. And I think our offense is just steadily improving. I think we're building off stuff that we're doing well, and then we're trying to limit stuff that we do bad. And I think that's great, going into a big game this week and then another big game the following week.
Jaylen, there's been times this year, where the defense has played well, but the other, sometimes it gets these, some of these offenses in the ASUN, there's just been a lot of points scored. How did it feel to come out and dominate the way you all did in that game on Saturday?
Man, it was great. As Parker said, it was one of our more complete games as a team, but specifically as a defense, we really had a emphasis on minimizing our MAs, missed assignments, mental errors, things like that. And we came down a little bit. We didn't hit the mark on what we wanted, but as you clearly saw, it was enough to hold the 2 touchdowns. And it's really good. It feels good for us to trust the play calls. It feels good for us to trust ourselves and how we execute overall.
You almost got in the end zone on the interception. What were some of the guys? I saw, you and Dak had a little celebration when you came back over to the sideline. But what were some of the guys saying to you about not being able to just get a few more yards, getting that end zone?
Me personally, I think if 33 strains a little bit harder, that's a touchdown. And I was giving them crap for it after that. But no one really was complaining. Jay Boog had just got a pick in the first half, and offense went down and scored the very next play. So when I got us down to the 6, I was not worried whatsoever that whether the offense would score or not. I don't think anyone else was. Yeah.
When you play against a team like that has 2 different quarterbacks, they have one that comes in and throws, and then they brought the other one in that runs. How hard can that be for a defense to prepare for that kind of change during the ball game?
It does propose some problems because as we were preparing, we're worried about the threats that they have. Their running backs room is very good, and they have competitive, hard runners. They have some nice receivers, and their starting quarterback he's a runner as well. He can run as well. He was gashing some of his opponents on film. And then they throw in another quarterback that we didn't spend that much time on. But their offense is still their offense. Their play calls are still their play calls. They can adjust for personnel, but they can't really account for all the preparation that we have already done.
So I saw before we came on the Zoom, you brought the guitar out. If you're, if you said you couldn't sing and play at the same time, so if you're picking who's grinning with you, who's the go-to guy, do a little duo with you playing the guitar and singing?
It's gonna be my boy Trey Gooden, number 26. He's a corner for us. That's definitely my guy.
You guys got a go-to song that you do? You perform?
He likes to play Neon, and I just attempt to say the words along with it.
The extra juice you guys are getting, you can kind of see it out on the field. The confidence that you guys have, and just, I guess, understanding the significance of the moment, just making every play matter, every down matter, every snap. It kind of just it resonates, and it just kind of surrounds the whole team, doesn't it?
No, it does for sure. As we've gone along in the season, our position coaches really focus on bringing us together, bringing us tighter, helping us love each other more within the rooms. But as that has, grown and snowballed, it's infected, offense and defense coming together to love each other. Special teams realizing that they're the connecting factor for the whole team. And it really just gives us faith in each other, faith in our coaches and the plans that they give us, and allows us to just play free and play fast.
Yeah, and you've seen, these other teams at the top of the conference earlier in the year, and now, Saturday you beat one of them. You have this opportunity this Saturday. I guess the confidence there too, knowing you guys can beat anyone that you go up against, especially from week 2 when you guys beat an FBS team. So I guess what kind of confidence is that going to bring into Saturday for you guys?
It's really honestly just a reassurance. Confidence was already there. We just couldn't tap into it. We spent too much time after the hard loss at Austin P. Really just trying to refigure out, what's going on. What are we doing wrong? And it wasn't that we weren't preparing. It wasn't that we weren't performing. It was really just we had to lock in. We had to trust the person next to us, trust that they were going to stay in their gap and we can fill ours, and trust the offense was going to come back and put points on the board. And we've done that since then. We did that last week, and we're going to continue to do that because that's just how we play. We trust each other nowadays, and it shows.